Welcome to this EDUbrief. You still need wired phones. I'm Gary Audin. Not everyone is mobile. There are many locations where a fixed, wired connected phone is necessary. Wired phones are still common. They may be connected through legacy cabling or directly to a local area network. You will find wired phones in stores, hotels, hospitals, and clinics. There are many businesses and government offices that still need wired phones. These users work in a fixed location. There are locations where a wired phone is necessary for emergency communications, or in elevators or in parking lots. There are also locations within many facilities where the signal for wireless communications is just not good enough. When you select wired phones, there are several choices available. The old analog phones that are compatible with a public switched telephone network and other PBXs are still around. There have been digital phones that are proprietary as well as standard for the Integrated Services Digital Network, ISDN. Another is the voice over IP phone connected to a LAN and then connected to a network, most likely the internet. We also have wired phones for conference facilities. There are wired phones that are cordless. These are not connected through cellular service. They use a technology designed specifically for cordless phones connected to a wired base unit. When you select a wired phone, you have to address interoperability and compatibility. Are you connecting to one of the legacy carriers or a legacy PBX? When you look at a wired phone vendor, look at the partners the wired phone vendor has, especially for voice over IP interoperability. A wired phone may be connected to an internet telephony service provider or unified communication service provider. Most of these providers will specifically specify phones that are compatible and interoperable with their services. I mentioned cordless phones earlier. They should support the Digital Enhanced Cordless Telecommunications Standard 6.0. This is designed specifically for voice and does not share any frequency spectrum with data users, therefore there is no data interference. There are Wi-Fi and Bluetooth phones available, however these are either limited in distance or may have vulnerability to data interference. A most important point is the battery life for the cordless phone. You're looking for at least 8 hours of continuous use. Conferencing and meeting room phones should have fast setup and be easy to use. The base unit is usually wired into a network, but the extension units may be cordless. You can also use your cell phone Bluetooth connectivity to communicate to the conference phone. There can be other noises in the room. You need premium sound quality with noise suppression. When you select a conference phone, make sure that you have an integrated system and not pieces from different vendors. Scalability is important because you may want to have 2 people or 20 people communicating in the meeting. The selection criteria should include what PBX or carrier or unified communication service that you're planning or currently using, because that will define the range of phones and vendors acceptable. It's important to understand that who is using these phones should be part of your selection process. Analyze the volume of incoming calls to determine if you need a multi-line phone. The busier the phone, the more rugged the device should be. When you connect to a unified communications or internet telephony service provider or IPPBX, you need to match the protocol and codec that is supported. Phones come in very simple to complex configurations. Determine what features and functionality the user needs when you're selecting the phone. Ensure that there is enough security with this phone, especially if it is voice over IP. Do you need a screen, touch sensitive, big enough in color? Do you want programmable keys? Do the users need hand-free operation? Does the phone need to have a headset connection? The wired phone is not dead yet. A very good article that you might want to read is 2020, the year we say goodbye to the desktop phone. The URL is at the bottom of the screen. Do you have good reasons to get rid of your wired phones? What are the analytics that justify the removal of wired phones? Never forget that you're going to have performance issues and 9/11 related regulatory requirements that may force you into installing wired phones. I hope this EDUbrief has helped you to think through the need for wired phones. I look forward to you viewing another EDUbrief in the future. Thank you.